Welcome back everybody to And Beyond Phinda, where we found these lions. It's the two male lions that we said were around this area, and just before you came back to us, the one on the left hand side actually had his head up, all nicely looking at us, and just as you came to us he flopped down. But we know from where these males are, a little bit off to our left hand side, we can't see them now, but that's where we think that buffalo carcass is. And we thought it was a little bit too wet to off-road, but we've seen and it is quite dry, so we are able to off-road. And I mean, look where those males are lying, huh? They're lying dead flat in that little thicket there. I mean, you can imagine being out here, there's a lot of flies around. I mean, there's a rain. I can see off in the distance also there's a big cloud coming in. But they can try to get away from those flies under there. Maybe it was raining a little bit earlier and they try to protect themselves under that little thicket. But, I mean, they also probably have fed off that buffalo. So they're very, very full. And it's surprising that they're not lying too close to that carcass. But I think they know that nothing else is going to chase them off. Being the king of the jungle, there's nothing much that's going to harm you. And I think maybe with their full stomachs, you can imagine that carcass smells quite a bit. We did a bit of a loop around, and we actually smelt it quite a distance away from where we are now on another road. So that tells us that this carcass is quite old. I mean, you can imagine these lions feeding, opening up that carcass, all the stomach contents and all that lying down on the ground is going to smell quite a bit. And so these lions, I think, have maybe just moved off a little bit away from that carcass. And with it being a buffalo carcass, I mean, a buffalo bull can probably weigh around a ton, maybe even over a ton. Huge animal, and I mean, so much meat on it. These two males aren't going to have to fight the lionesses for any food, because they know that there's going to be food to go around for all of them. I think it would be a different story if, say, that lioness maybe killed an impala or an inyala. I think these two male lions would have fought that lioness or chased her off. And then these two brothers, they actually would have fought one another for that carcass. I mean, an inyala is quite a big antelope, but nothing as big as a buffalo. And they never know when their next meal is going to be. So that's why they do have to fight for it. But like I said, with that buffalo, they're happy to move off a little bit and just relax. Jean, thank you for your question. These two male lions are in fact brothers. So often with male lions, they form what we call a coalition. So a coalition is 2 or 3, even 4 male animals that will come together. And these two would have been born from the same mother. So as youngsters, they would have spent time with the pride, with their mom. And at around 2.5 to 3 years old, these males would have been kicked out by a dominant male of the area where they were. So these two males, we actually brought them into Phinda from another game reserve. And on Phinda, because we are fenced off, we actually have to swap the males quite often. So we swap them about every 3.5 years or so, and just to get that genetics going within the pride. Otherwise, if we do keep the same males, they could sometimes then potentially mate with their daughters. But how beautiful, look at all the cubs out in the open. And as it is getting a little bit cooler here at Phinda, starting to get a little bit dark, you can see the cubs. They might even start moving towards that buffalo carcass. Maybe that male is going to go feed and these cubs might even join him. It'll be quite incredible after the afternoon we've had with these lions to see them move towards that carcass. Yeah, beautiful. Look at that. All lying down together. I think they're also quite inquisitive of where that male's gone. They know that there's a carcass there, and they might not want to get too close while mom's just lying down. But maybe if they hear that crunching of the bones, eating the meat, maybe even tearing the meat off the bone, that they might start to go towards that carcass. But I mean, looking at them, they all do have very, very full stomachs. But as youngsters, they'll be able to feed all the time. And I mean, since we've left them, I asked some of the other rangers, they haven't gone to the carcass. So this would be a perfect time for them to maybe get their early evening snack. And I can hear the flies around that buffalo carcass. It's just off into the drainage line on our right hand side. I can see the other male has just got up a little bit further ahead of this other vehicle. Maybe he's going to come and join this male. Should we try and reposition? I want to move back a little bit, see if we can try get towards the carcass where the male lion is feeding. And here he's actually trying to dig his teeth into the carcass. Let me keep quiet a little bit more. Look at he's using his claws. You can see the other male's trying to get exactly where this male is. But if he does try and open it again, I'm going to just keep quiet and just listen. Maybe even turn your volume up a little bit on your TV. You can see now this male, this is the other male trying the same approach as the other male was. Oh! Sorry about that, he fell into the water, the carcass moved. And he's not having fun right now. This is not a happy male lion at the moment. He knows that there's nice big buffalo there for him, but he just can't get the right position. Maybe now that he's wet, he'll just decide to go in.